20 minutes, and the half-back duel is going to be key. Clinching Chester last week overran Leeds. We've seen Darryl Powell in for his defensive qualities, and Ryan Sheridan's had a top season for Leeds. They can only play behind a pack that gets on top first, and it's all set as the Halifax Blue Sox run out for what should be a fantastic festival night of rugby league.
And the Blue Sox have run out, and we're waiting for the Rhinos. Just a reminder that there will be a minute's silence for the tragic loss of Arthur Clues, who died yesterday in the Leeds hospital. The Leeds legend passed away yesterday. There will be a minute's silence, so I'm sure no apologies made. We will cut off our broadcast for that minute to mark a great player for the club and a very sad in his past. And as the Rhinos take the field, and we're ready for semi-final football here at Headingley. And really, this is going to be an exciting night's football. 80 minutes in front of us. If it is a draw after 80 minutes, there'll be 10 minutes each way of extra time. If that's not enough to separate the teams, there'll be a following 10 minutes of golden points, where anyone that gets the points on the board, be it a drop goal, a penalty or a try, will win the game. And really, it's all set now for semi-final stuff, and the most exciting rugby we'll have seen this year as we build towards that grand final, October 24th, to decide who are the champions of 1998. The Rhinos have played magnificently all season, but it'll count for nothing if they can't turn the form on now in the next month. And the players are all moving out now as we prepare for our minute silence. Each set of teams lined up on the 40-metre line, and a hush comes over the stadium. And referee Russell Smith calls the teams together, and the PA announces to the grounds, the crowd is situated in the ground, there will be a minute's silence. And the crowd raise their feet as a matter of respect for Arthur Clues, as his record is read out to the fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for 1 minute silence as we pay tribute to sporting legend Arthur Clues.
And the minute comes to a close, respected by all within the stand for what a great man he was, Arthur Clues, and what a fitting tribute it would be for him if the Rhinos could put in a great performance tonight, Dean.
That's right, a very sad occasion. Good friend Arthur Clues, and great stalwart of Leeds Rugby League, sadly passed away. But I mean, the players can use that as motivation, can't they? You know that you know, they may be playing this game firstly for themselves, but also to give Arthur a good send-off. And
the game gets underway, and the kick goes down towards Darryl Powell, so he gets his first touch, and it's Adrian Morley who drives it up.
Not surprisingly, Kelvin Skerritt in the first tackle as well.
Certain scores to be settled out there from last week, and this will be a big clash and a big test, and this is what semi-final football is all about. Terry Newden. And this is good stuff now as the Rhinos drive it out. They're making good yardage here on their first set of 6, driving out, the hard work being done. Darren Fleary picks it up. And he's tackled well, and they make it up to the 35 outside their own line. And now this is Mark Glanville. He'll be looking for a big game. He needs to lead the Rhinos forwards today, and that seems to be a forward pass, but then Ryan Sheridan gets the kick in, and it drops to Damien Gibson. And we've seen many tries from Damien Gibson last year, and he's pushing forward now.
Yeah, Leeds were very lucky to get away with that. It was actually a forward pass off Terry Newton to Ryan Sheridan. Referee didn't pick it up, but that's one already for Leeds Rhinos.
Now Clinch feeds it out, but there's 4 Rhinos players in the tackle there.
Again, not making any excuses for last week's display at the new Shea, but the initial penalty count inside the first 20 minutes was 5-0 to Halifax. It certainly didn't harm them.
Gary Mercer runs straight in Adrian Morley, and he sends it backwards, and Anthony Farrell's in there as well. And this is good stuff now from the Rhinos. Good pressure. The Halifax Blue Sox didn't get out of their own 30 there with that set of 6. And Yestin Harris picks it up on his 30 and runs up and he's got Leroy Rivet outside him. Leroy Rivet comes back inside Mercer and takes it up to the 40. Good work there from the young winger, not afraid to do the hard work there.
Yeah, interesting that Halifax just stood off Iestyn Harris for a minute. He was showing them the ball, but they really weren't sure whether he was going to go himself or find his winger, and that's encouraging.
As Paul Sterling takes it from dummy half and scoots another 10 metres. Good work from the Rhinos now. They really have a score to settle now, and they're going about that job. And they've got the first penalty of the game, and it's for a high tackle on Anthony Farrell. And it's some 35 metres out from the Halifax line, so I would have thought that Iestyn Harris would like to go for the points here. He has been practising all week his goal kicking, and a good start for the Rhinos, Dean.
Yeah, they're certainly doing all the right things with the ball in their hands. It's not going through too many hands, but at the moment all they've got to do is lay the platform for the rest of the game, and that's just to take the ball forward early in the game. And I think, like in all big games, discipline is going to play a big part in the way this game goes. Obviously both sides are very fired up, but you've got to play within the rules. And giving teams piggybacks down the field isn't going to do any team favours. And especially with the prowess of Iestyn Harris, you really can't afford to give a penalty away anywhere near the opposition's half of the field.
Bearing in mind that Leeds were nilled last week, is it important they get on the scoreboard as quickly as possible this week?
Yeah, definitely. So I was just thinking that myself, and it'll give them that confidence to go on and kick right through this game.
So 4 minutes into the game, Iestyn Harris prepares for his kick. He looks up at the posts, visualising the ball going through those posts, no doubt. And now he runs up to the ball. It's a firm contact. It's got the distance. Has it got the direction? No, it hasn't. It's just to the right of the posts.
Well, that's all right. He's kicked the ball dead. So obviously Leeds get the ball back, and they will have a good field position.
So it's some balloons all over the pitch. There's 1,000 balloons being released to the youngsters inside the ground. So Edgar Curtis, the Rhinos weights conditioner, taking 1 or 2 off, so they're making sure the field's clear for play. And now the ball goes back into play, and it's Iestyn Harris that picks it up on his own 30, gives it to Adrian Morley, who drives into Skerritt, and there's a big tackle on him there.
And that's something that was missing last week for sure, a drive like that.
And so often we say on Radio Rhino that the players inspire each other, and that was just so there. Martin Marcella put in another big drive, and again Darren Fleary. The players know they have to make amends for last week, and they're putting in the big effort now. Big, hard, charging runs. Darryl Powell feeds back inside to Adrian Morley. He makes another 5 metres on the drive. Terry Newton at dummy half. He's back after his rest last week. Sheridan out to Farrell. Farrell looking to offload. He's going around the outside. He's got Sterling outside him. If he can find him, he can't. He's just dragged by his shirt collar to the floor. Now Sterling feeds Sheridan. Sheridan, Harris. Harris puts the bomb up. It'll be interesting to see how Gibson deals with this. He deals with it well, but he's tackled as soon as he catches the ball there. Good chase there by Darren Fleary. And now it's Tuolangi who drives it out, but Godden's got him well wrapped up.
Again, 6 tackle options are going to be important, and it's vital that Leeds do. If they are going to kick like that, they do put in the chase, and Fleary did well, stayed on side and really did well. But that spoilt some good work at the play the ball.
A swinging arm there, I think, from Martin Marcella. Tuolangi was on his way down to the floor.
He was, yeah, but I think Marty was lucky to get away with the one before that. Referee actually had the whistle in his mouth, but decided not to, but he had to get him the second time.
So we're 6 minutes into the game, the score still 0-0. And if the Academy game, which was the equivalent of this, 2v3, as the curtain raiser, this is anything to go by, that was 2-2, long time into the game, indeed into the second half. So that's what semi-final football's all about. That looked to be a margin forward.
I think more important though was the hit on Carl Harrison.
Yeah, he'll remember that for the rest of the game, I'm sure, as will Skerritt here, as he's manhandled by Farrell and Fleary. Big hits by them too, as we've come to expect all year. And it's dropped there.
Again, that must be taking your eye. Gavin Clinch, was it taking his eye off the ball, bearing in mind the 2 big hits that had got him before that, and now it's starting to boil over. It's actually Richard Marshall.
That's right, he had a look, and why wouldn't you after those 2 hits? And when they're 2 best go-forward players in Calvin Skerritt and Carl Harrison get knocked back like that, it doesn't give you a lot of confidence, does it?
Certainly, big hits there. And that's what it's all about. It's about getting the lads fired up. They were very subdued in the early quarter of that game last week, and they need to get going. They need to get making sure that Halifax are on the back foot. Halifax are the ones looking out for the big hits and not concentrating on the ball. As Darryl Powell now drives it up to the halfway line. Good work there from Darryl Powell, and he'll need a big game, just as we saw from him in Central Park, as will this man, Iestyn Harris, as he drives it up. And all the Halifax backline are offside, so this will be another 10 metres rather, for the Rhinos.
Clever from Iestyn Harris there. He saw that Halifax was struggling getting back. He went to acting half-back and made them pay.
And they'll start this set of 6 on the 25. Plenty of options here as it comes out to Darryl Powell. Darryl Powell feeds Morley, but he's got 3 men on him as soon as he collects the ball. He's looking for the offload. And Gary Mercer's very tenacious there in the tackle, swinging arms the lot there. He's obviously out to make a big impression on his return to Headingley. Mark Glanville gets the ball out the back to Godden. That looked to be a high tackle for mine. It's on Marty Masella. Marty Masella throws the ball. There's no need for that, Marty. You've got the penalty.
Silly from Marty. I mean, the referee, has a right to turn that penalty around, and Marty's a bit more experienced than that, and he doesn't need to do that.
We'll see what referee Russell Smith. Marty Masella, not the greatest throw of the ball. That didn't seem to hit anyone, but it was the intention that'll be taken into account by Russell Smith.
I think we have to say that Russell Smith now needs to take control. There is a chance. We've got 8 minutes so far of this game. This is the 3rd penalty. There's been a couple of high shots, one offside, and if he doesn't keep a very close grip, then it could boil over.
I think the referee's experienced enough to know what to do as well, and at the moment it's a typical sort of quarter-final as it is, I suppose, and there's no quarter asked, no quarter given, and at the moment referee's doing a good job, but I suppose if anybody does step over the line, as we've found out already over the weekend, that the referee knows where the red card is.
Does it show, Dean, that how fired up the players are for this game, that someone so experienced as Marty just sort of lost his head there and just threw the ball at him? Yeah,
well, it does, but I mean, remember what I said before about the discipline, and in big games it's okay being fired up, but you've got to play within the rules.
Again, I think it's safe to say that, but for the fact that he threw the ball, it's been quite an impressive start for Martin Masella. He's been fired up with controlled aggression, and it's his experience of grand finals that is vitally important out in the front row tonight.
Well, that's right. We need Marty's big match experience, don't we? And he needs to take the team forward. And he was disappointed with his game last week, like a lot of them were, and he's certainly going the right way around it to put it right this week.
So Iestyn Harris has the penalty, some 21 metres out from the post, just to the left. He gets a firm contact. He might be just drifting away to the right. Is it? It bounces off the post, but comes back down into a danger area. And Gibson comes up with it. Good work there by Halifax. Jamie Bloom comes away with it then. Darting run there.
Another high tackle. I think this was Francis Cummins that time, which again is letting the pressure off. And as I say, very enthusiastic Leeds at the moment, but they've got to make sure they don't piggyback Halifax team all the way down the field.
Is it important that Iestyn's missed those 2 kicks? Will doubt start creeping in now to the fans and the players, maybe?
No, not so much that. Obviously, everybody wants to get the points on the board, and what did stand out there was the chase by Leeds. The ball did come off the upright, and boy, I tell you what, there was most of the Leeds pack there waiting for it.
Now Skerritt drives it up, and he's collected there by Farrell. Big hits going in. So the kick goes through, and Tuolangi, it's a race between himself and Rivet, and Harris picks it up and can only take it dead in his own goal. Good chasing there by Halifax, and that sort of pressure will be what John Pennerby had told his side to do out there. Put plenty of pressure on Leeds. They may have doubts from last week, so we've got to make sure we capitalise it. That's what he'll have sent his side out to do, and good pressure put there on Rivet and Harris.
Yeah, that was a great kick by Halifax, and it was certainly a planned move. They had the chasers already, the centre and the winger, and there wasn't really much Iestyn could do.
So Leeds will have to be forced to drop out. They'll need to get plenty of yardage on this now, this kick. I don't want to give Halifax too much room to work at them.
This is their first period of pressure, really.
It's been a very tight game so far. Leeds probably having the upper hand. 10 minutes gone. They've had 2 good penalty chances. One struck the post, but still the scores remain 0-0.
Oh.
And he got in a touch there, and that was a mistake. A big mistake there made by Halifax. And Russell Smith's just going to see his touch shot. Did he take that into touch?
He was stood actually on the whitewash when he caught it, and
he would seem to be Dale
took
Powell.
A pace backwards.
Dale Powell it was. Interesting to see where the ball goes in here.
What a terrible mistake to make.
And it is Rhinos head and feed, and Sheridan has it, and he feeds Powell, and the Rhinos have got away with it now. What can they do with it? Harris feeds it out, to Cummins, and Cummins just caught as he managed to catch the ball there. Now this is Glanville. Glanville waited a long time to get that ball, but it eventually came to him, and the pass was backwards. Now it comes to Sheridan. Sheridan out to Masella. Masella looking for the offload.
Good tackle by Gary Mercer.
The opportunity wasn't given to him there. Now Sheridan again darts from dummy half. They're really looking to catch Halifax on the back foot. Quick running from dummy half.
And Brad Godden had to hold on there because Adrian Morley had overrun him a bit.
Now Terry Newton feeds Masella out to Powell. Powell puts the kick through. It might be too long. It's just bouncing, and it does bounce too long.
Yeah, that was a poor kick by Dowley. Be very disappointed in that. It was a little bit rushed, and I don't think they were really set for the kick. So they've got to get in position a lot quicker than that.
He was out yesterday morning before training. He even started practicing his kicks. Should he be called upon? And he was. Tony Kemp picking up that injury in yesterday's training session.
Again, that's what we want to see. Gary Mercer running across the field rather than down and straight.
So now Halifax have a good chance to come forward. And this is a big drive, but Terry Newton's in there, and a hell of a lot of work being done, as we expect from Anthony Farrell and Darren Fleer, and the ball's been spilled, and this is Morley. Morley drives it up.
The linesman signalled to the referee that the ball was pulled out, and more than likely it was too, the way the ball came out then.
He did go flying back towards Leeds, and Terry Newton's arms especially came flying back as if he had force on the ball and it came loose.
There's certainly more than one Leeds player in the tackle as well.
And so Halifax are giving yardage. We said discipline's important. He's given away yardage there. They'll have to defend even harder now, as a good kick means that Halifax start this on Leeds' 25-metre line. And this is Harrison who drives it up.
He's getting no change tonight out of Fleary and Farrell, that's for sure.
Certainly. He was a player that had a good game last week, and there'll be one or two scores to settle against him. And now this is Clinch. Clinch offloads inside to Des Clark, but the tackle eventually comes in from Newton.
Working hard, Terry Newton has made a difference already tonight.
Clinch inside the Skerritt. He's well wrapped up. And the guy looks to go from dummy half, Rowley. And he ran into several players there, and the tackle isn't good on Clinch there. Here. And now it's going out wide, but Darrell Powell drops it on. The referee was playing advantage, and he's called it back for the penalty. And this is Neil Rivet doesn't know he went.
Yeah, no, that was good play by the referee. He did play the advantage, and I think it was Anthony Farrell, or it might have been Darren Fleer. I can't remember. They do look a bit similar from up here, and they did have their fronts to us, so we couldn't see the numbers. But one of them was a little bit slow getting back at marker, and Paul Rowley was smart enough to run into him on purpose, and he knew exactly what he was doing.
Very talented hooker in Paul Rowley, and he's a player that the Rhinos will have to watch. He'll certainly be looking to get that number 9 jersey for Great Britain at the end of the year when the Great Britain faced the Kiwis in that 3-test series.
Although it is rumoured he hasn't been invited into the train-on squad, which is very surprising if it's true.
It's also rumoured that his opposite number today, Terry Newton, could be in that team, so he'll be up for a big game today, Rowley. Likewise, Terry Newton, we've already seen he's making a big contribution so far as the ball falls off the kicking tee.
I think it's certainly safe to say that the way the Leeds defence has started in this first, 15-20 minutes, Gavin Clinch really hasn't had the ball in his hands much, whereas by this time last week he'd already won the game for Halifax.
Yeah, well, the only reason they've had good field position is because of the penalties.
And Clinch has missed the kick for right in front of the post. It hit the upright and spun off to the left-hand side of the post. And it has gone down, the Rhinos will have to kick out, but that's a great relief for the Rhinos there, Dean.
Well, it's certainly a very kickable kick that he's just missed, and certainly I think John Pendlebury would have put 2 points in the book. But yeah, it's a let off, and Leeds Rhinos, as I said before, they've just got to sort of cut these penalties out, and that's the only way that they're letting Halifax get that good field position.
And so they clear out now.
It really is a bit like a game of physical chess out there. It's a phrase that's been used before, but you can almost see the moves unfolding in front of you, and they're so evenly matched, these two sides.
And Powell looks to shoot. Darrell Powell, that is, from dummy half for Halifax, but Brad Godden missed in the first time and then got in the second time. There may have been a stray boot in there as well as Tuolangi drives it on. And this is good stuff for the Rhinos. Good tight defence as Rowley sends it out to Clinch. Clinch working it along his back line. And the ball comes out now to clinch again. And this is good work. And just let them give a bit too much room there, Halifax. The Rhinos have to keep it tight and keep the tackles up.
Was a great pass from Chris Chester though as he was falling.
Yeah.
And already Clinch got the ball, just a little jink, and the kick goes through, and it's heading out towards Paul Sterling's wing, and the punch back by Halifax, and Francis Cummins has picked it up. If he's got some space he could go, but he's tackled well from the collar down.
Did well though to stay in the field of play. That was the main thing.
Exhibited, and again Francis Cummins, the weight and the strength that we've seen him put on this year. He was able to take the ball down there. Another player who's came on this year is Leroy Rivet, who has the ball now, and he's got 3 men on him. He's still
done well to make the extra 5 yards, wrestling out the tackle as well.
Excellent stuff from Leroy Rivet as Martin Marcella drives it on, just shy of the halfway line now. And Yestin Harris picks it up and goes from dummy half. Leeds really looking to get the ball going quickly now. Quick runs from dummy half seem to be the early call these today as Morley gets the pass out. And now it's Harris looking to an offload, gets it inside to Fleary going up the middle of the field. He's 20 metres out from the Halifax line. This is good stuff from the Rhinos as Sheridan darts to the line and looks to give an offload, and the ball comes flying out there.
Yes, I think Ryan did the right thing running to the line there, but he didn't take the right option. The right option was to miss somebody out and get it to the fringes there, because that's where we had the numbers.
And so now Halifax can breathe a sigh of relief as they drive it upfield. Leeds discipline will be vitally important now. They've got to keep Halifax down there. They can't give away any silly penalties as Mercer drives it straight into Morley, and Morley drops the shoulder and puts the big hit that he's come his trademark this season. And this is Harrison, he drives it up, gets the offload to Rowley. A suspicion it may have been forward, but Rowley's hit anyway. A big hit on him.
Again, Newton very, very close. There's a hell of a battle starting there between the two of them.
Well, we mentioned it building up to the game, the battle between those two front three, and it really has been everything we build it in the pre-match. And the ball's kicked dead, just shy of the 20-metre line. And this will they'll get head and feed on their own 20-metre line, the Rhinos. And really, defence has been the watchword so far in this game, Dean.
Yeah, it certainly has, but that last set and attack by Leeds was very good, and I think the wingers played a big part in it. Leroy Rivet making some great yardage against some tight defence, and they need to do that. The wingers do play a big part in any teams go forward, especially here at Leeds with the strength of our wingers.
We're 19 minutes into the game, the score's still locked at 0-0. This could be a soccer game, but it's not. It's semi-final rugby here at Headingley. The ball comes out to Brad Godden. Brad Godden just goes outside Powell, but Powell and Tuilangi eventually get him down. He's had some big hits on him, and he looks to have taken a bad knock, Brad Godden. There may have been a suspicion of a knee in there. He took a big hit there.
It's like it's his head.
He has been hit on the head there.
Yeah, they have to get somebody warmed up here. I think Marvin will come on here.
That would be a big blow for Leeds.
So now the game goes on. Newton feeds Morley. Morley drives up to the 40 and offload out the back to Newton. Newton feeds Sheridan. Sheridan to Powell. Powell going round. And we can only hope this isn't a too serious injury to Brad Godden. He's still down. We can see his legs moving as the bomb goes up. And Leroy Rivet tries to get it, but it goes into touch. I think the referee will stop play here.
Yeah, I think he'll have to. He certainly doesn't look good. I don't know whether there was maybe a bit of an accidental head clash there or something, but it was a fairly hard tackle. You really couldn't see whether there's anything wrong with the tackle itself.
He's back on his knees, and obviously the doctor taking a long time to ascertain exactly how bad it is.
The doc's out there with Seamus McCallion. They're taking a long, hard look.
Now's the time you want to go out with a sharp fingernail and just nick a bit of blood, I think.
Yes, that would be.
Far be it from us to suggest
little sachet of tomato sauce, I think, has been used before.
Exactly. Not that we would countenance or condone such
coming out now. So Brad Godden is coming off. And I think it will be a substitute. No, it's a blood bin substitution. So Hines doing their job there.
I think it's a bit early, but I think Graham must have thought about. I know you have to make quick decisions about putting Marcus St. Hilaire in at fullback, and maybe putting Yestin up to 5'8" and putting Daryl Powell to centre. I mean, Daryl has played quite a bit at centre, so it's probably a little bit early in the game for him to do that.
The kick comes through and Harris collects it on the full and drives it up. But Daryl Powell, that is, has got the heel on him. He's 22 metres out from his own line. Golden gets the pass out of Sheridan. Sheridan's got Sterling outside him. Paul Sterling not scoring the tries that we saw from him last year, but certainly his hard work this year has been something we've seen so often. And there's a punch-up going on now between Terry Newton, and I can't quite see who the Halifax
I think it was
player.
Rowley again. The two of them weren't far away, and Newton got the ball away, and I certainly saw Terry Newton throwing a punch. I don't know what Paul Rowley was, probably holding on to him or trying to pull him back.
Yeah, I just wonder if it was Rowley. I thought I'd seen the number 11 shirt of
Not Gary
Halifax.
Mercer, surely.
Well, we'll wait and see while the team's clear. As per usual, they're all in there except for Leroy Rivet and Ferretti Tuilangi. They're out on their wings, just having a look at the TV screen while everyone else calms down.
Looks like it is 11, you were right. Looks like there might have been a high shot as well. It's
17,
sorry, Richard Marshall.
17, Richard Marshall. So let's see what referee Russell Smith will take an action here.
Both sin binned out,
I would have thought so. It seems to be he's got to do something to get control of this game. We saw elements early on, and now it's blown up, so now would be a good time, I would have thought.
I mean, it was a scrappy play, the ball, from a Leeds point of view. The ball was played before Terry Newton was there. He seemed to get to the ball at the same time as Marshall stepped away from marker. Whether Marshall was offside or not, I don't know. Newton seemed to get the ball away, and Marshall perhaps carried it on, but certainly exception was taken by Terry Newton.
Let's see, Russell Smith talks to his touch judges, Mr. Hewitt and Hawley.
Whether they've
see
had
what
a
their opinion was.
sneaky look at the screen, I don't know.
Well, they're not supposed to, Phil.
No, but whether they have.
If I was a touch judge, I would. I mean, you know, it's I know they're not supposed to, but you'd...
yeah, Terry Newton's in the sin bin. He's calling someone out from the Halifax
you'd
side
get
as well.
most decisions right if you did, wouldn't you?
Exactly. I mean, what's the point of having the technology if for things like that you're not using it?
I think
Wow.
Russell Smith's being very clever. He's letting Terry Newton get to the bench before he sends. That's exactly right. Richard Marshall's going to go to the bin. So the two players weren't walking off together to prevent any sort of a flare-up that could happen there. He sent one off and just waited his time before he sent Marshall off. They'll both spend 10 minutes in the bin.
Penalty to Leeds, though.
And the penalty is to Leeds.
Which again shows that Terry shouldn't have retaliated.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be told in no uncertain terms at the half-time by Graham Murray what he should have done and what he shouldn't have done.
I mean, with all due respect to Richard Marshall, and he did play well last week, it's a bigger blow for Leeds to lose their dummy half supervisor than it is to lose a second rower.
Yeah, Ryan Sheridan's a more than capable replacement, as he's shown most of the year when he has played at hooker, so he'll do a good job and he'll add a bit of spark there.
The only problem may be they've had two quick changes, Leeds, with Godden going off and now Newton, so they've had to reshuffle.
A great run there from Adrian Morley, just coming back on the inside ball, did make a good step for himself and created a good gap.
Now Harris running towards the line, gets the ball out to Marvin Golden. Marvin Golden takes it up to the 10, but he's well wrapped up there by Dower Powell, and now Harris changed his direction, tries to put a little kick through, and it came off
Gary Mercer, and it was intentional, although the referee's given it to Halifax.
It was just that last backline movement with the pass to Marvin Golden. They did miss Brad Godden in that situation because, you know, it was all set up there for a good in and away, and that's what Brad Godden's been doing so well all year.
Well, Halifax have sent their entire bench out here. I can't believe they are making 3 changes.
That's a big call, isn't it?
Well, we saw that in the pre-season friendly down at Thrum Hall, where he changed his players around like that. But really, that is a big decision by John Pendlebury. Time will tell whether it was the right decision or not.
Interesting to see also there. It's a ploy that Halifax use when they bring the ball away from the scrum in their own 20 area. They use Gary Mercer to bring the ball away, and what Graham Murray did there is he put Adrian Morley opposite him.
So it's Skerritt and Harrison that'll come off.
Interesting substitution to take 3 of your front line pack off when you've just had one of your front line pack sin binned. I know that gives them more mobility because he's taken the entire front row off, but is that going to be a mistake, do you think?
Well, only time will tell, and if it works, he's a genius. So I mean, that's what coaching's all about. You've got to take these gambles at times, but it is a big call to take 3 players off. It can upset your rhythm. I know their bench is fairly strong at the moment, but it is a big call.
And it's very slippery conditions out there, and that's shown as Paul Sterling skidded as he went to collect that ball, and so he couldn't get any real speed up before Halifax got him, and he was dragged backwards. And now Harris picks it up. Harris makes a half break, and he makes good 10 metres there with that. Jamie Matthew just warming up on the sidelines for the Rhinos. And this is good stuff for the Rhinos. Good work, good hard work out of their own 20. And Sheridan just has to go between his legs to pick that one up. And he get it away to Glanville. Now Sheridan again. Sheridan drives it on. A suspicion that Halifax backline may not be onside. Certainly the crowd calling for it. Dow Powell dummies and goes, and he just couldn't get an offload away there as Farrell goes in at dummy half. He finds Harris. Harris offering one thing, then going for the big bomb over to Tuilagi, which Golden has got him, and the bop's out there. And Leroy Rivet has it, but can he shake off?
Penalty's been given though. The referee's given the penalty. Or the knock-on.
Has he given it against
Knock-on
Marvin
against
Golden
Marvin
there?
Golden, I think.
I think he's given a penalty there for going in, has he?
No, it's the turnover, I think.
All right, just seen the arm raised there.
Yeah, he was lucky not to give a penalty away, really, Marvin. Marvin's really got to concentrate and go for the ball there. He did take Tuilagi out just before the ball got to him.
But
It's difficult to believe, though, it's still 0-0 after, 26 minutes?
Just under 15 minutes remaining in this first half as the ball pops out. He went to offload that, and he's popped out, and that's the Halifax player's fault.
See, I think referees have got to be smart here, and nobody reefed the ball out. If someone put his hand around, he's attempting to make a tackle. He's not punching the ball out on purpose. And if you're going to blame anyone, I blame the person holding the ball. He should hold on to it, not drop it.
Especially if you're carrying it one-handed in your own 22.
Oh, that's right. I mean, there was no intention there to pull it out. There is a difference, and referees have got to play smart there.
And it didn't go to his touch judge there either. He gave the decision immediately himself.
And now Halifax.
Jamie Matthew on for Leeds. And Brad Godden returning as well, by the look of it, at least to the bench.
He's back to the bench. He's taken on Warner, so that means he will play some part, I would have thought, in the rest of this match, as and when required. Now this is Gibson. Gibson makes a break, but Fleary wraps him up well there. Good tackle by Darren Fleary.
That was great cover from Darren Fleary. He was involved in the one just before that, but he showed presence of mind to keep going from the inside.
Clinch back inside to Moana. Moana makes a mess of the play of the ball. And how that's allowed to, I don't know. And this should be the turnover. There's one left. It comes out now. Clinch puts the kick through for Dale Powell to chase. Easton Harris has it. He takes it in his own in-goal area, so the Rhinos will have this. Just kicked too far and not enough pressure put on Easton Harris there. So the Rhinos will be able to bring this out from their own 20. It's Marvin Golden who steps off 1 foot and then drives it on to the 30. Good yardage made there. And now Paul Sterling slips again.
I don't know what stud Sterlo's got on tonight, but that's not the first time he's fallen over, so I think he'll make some changes in the
it might be a visit.
time.
Might be worth taking a visit to the boot room and putting on his longer studs. And it comes out now to Powell. Powell
might be a visit to the ASIC shop for the sale.
And what a wonderful sale it is too. And it comes out now. Glanville drives it on. Suspicion of a trip there. But now Sheridan's only got one player outside and plays a bit of football to himself. The ball comes spinning out there, and surely the Halifax player was offside there from the kick through.
Not if it came from a Leeds boot.
Well, it was a Leeds boot there, so I don't think it can be offside.
And now Halifax looking to drive it up.
It's a good idea to try and break down the defence, but there was no support when he went on the blind side.
And now Halifax make it over the halfway line. Good work there from Adrian Morley. He saw the chance and went through and dived on the loose ball, and Mark Glanville's with him. And Mark Glanville takes it on. And this is Harris. Harris runs round the back of Sheridan and looking for a gap. Just not appearing for him. He's looking for an offload, and Clinch had him wrapped up, but not that well as it comes out to Sheridan. Sheridan out to Powell. Powell finds Farrell. Farrell drives it up the middle of the field and makes it up to the 20-metre line.
That was great football from Leeds.
Always looking for the offload, alert to the opportunities. That's been the mark of this team this year. And inside again to Morley. Morley out to Fleary. Fleary up the middle, but he looked to make the offload, and the ball just eventually popped out. There was no real force behind it, and it just dropped for the Halifax player to collect.
Wrong man trying to offload, I think. And again, old man in a bit by Halifax here. I think they felt they were under pressure, and they're trying to perhaps take the steam out of the Leeds attack there.
10 minutes remaining in this first half. But remember that both sides are down to 12 men.
Yeah, I just think, just looking at Marty Moana, you know, we all wondered why he was still on the bench. He seems to be carrying that arm of his. I've just watched him in a couple of tackles, and he's certainly favouring the arm as he's going into tackle. So it's probably a situation that John Penderbury's thought he's worthy of putting on the bench. But he's a dangerous attacking player, so they've really got to watch him.
Dangerous offload there inside their own 20, but they get away with it, Halifax. The Rhinos have to be alert to everything tonight. It's going to be a very tight game, and any gap that appears could be crucial, could be the one that wins the match. And so now, making up to the 40, Halifax.
The longer it goes on as well, the first score becomes more crucial.
It's hard to believe they could be 0-0 at half-time, and that's what we're looking at now, going into the final 10 minutes. And certainly no team looking as if they're going to leak a try. It's going to have to be created by somebody, and this could be the man Clinch, who puts a big bomb up, heading towards Leroy Rivet. But they let it bounce, and Tuilagi could have it here. He has got it, and he's underneath the post. And there was confusion there between Iestyn Harris and Leroy Rivet, and neither of them collected the ball. Tuilagi was quick to it, and he collected it and dived under the posts. And the try has been awarded.
That's disappointing. I mean, I know you're just talking about, you know, that try, the next try that was, or the next points that were going to be scored have a bearing on the game. It was either going to come by good play or a bad mistake, and it's certainly a bad mistake there. There was no communication between Iestyn Harris and Leroy Rivet, and I don't know which one should have gone for the ball, but that's why you do communicate, so you do know. And unfortunately, the bounce went Freddie Tuilagi's way. The ball popped up for him nicely, and he had the presence of mind to be there on the spot.
Certainly we've seen with Iestyn at full-back, his communication with his wingers doesn't seem to be the best.
No, well, as I say, it's you know, that's what makes a good partnership. But I think really Leroy seemed to be the closer person, and really, I mean, we can argue all night who was supposed to be there, but the thing was there was no communication, and that's why the try resulted.
Again, I don't think there was any question that Tuilagi was onside as well. I think some of the Leeds players were asking Russell Smith to just check the screen just to make sure, but he had no doubt that it was a try.
And Clinch adds the conversion, so that's 6-0 to Halifax Blue Sox with just 7 minutes remaining in this first half. Brad Godden's rejoined the field, and Marvin Golden's going off, so that's a reversal of the blood bin replacement. And also Terry Newton joins, as does Marshall for the Blue Sox on their sin binning. So it's all changed now after this try. So it's 6-0 to the Blue Sox, and really the Rhinos wouldn't want to go into half-time not conceding.
No, it was, as we've already said in the call in the first half, it's like a game of chess, isn't it? And you know, who was going to make the first mistake, and unfortunately it was Leeds. But they've just got they're playing all right at the moment.
I think on balance they have been the better team.
That's right, but it's all about opportunities, as we know, isn't it? And you know, Halifax have probably had one going their way this half, and they've taken it.
Yep.
So now it comes out to Sheridan. Sheridan feeds Powell. Powell's got Godden, who's just rejoined. He's got Rivet outside him. Perfectly timed pass to Rivet. Rivet has to come back inside him. He's going to find himself in touch.
Did well.
He gets the ball out to Powell. A wonderful pass from Rivet. Powell gives it to Newton. Newton knocks it down, but it didn't go backwards. Didn't go forwards, rather, as Morley drives up the middle of the field. Great run from Adrian Morley. Just what we've come to expect from the Great Britain international. And there was messing around there from Gibson at the play. The ball, it comes out to Glanville. Glanville.
Great work there by Leroy Rivet to have the strength to stay in the field of play.
Comes out to Godden again. He's got Rivet outside him, but he just takes the tackle from Darryl Powell. The ball comes loose, and it's back to 0. And Ryan Sheridan takes it up, gives it outside to Farrell. Farrell drives it up. Good work there from Anthony Farrell. And the Rhinos will do well now. They've got 5 tackles inside the Halifax 20. What can they do with it now? Harris spins out the tackle, gives the offload to Newton. Newton picks it off the floor. Powell inside. This is great stuff from the Rhinos from Francis Cummins.
Terrific hands by Terry Newton.
And now Harris again. What can he do? He jinks and gets the offload away. And this is Newton. Newton heading out towards Paul Sterling. Hasn't really got many options, and he knocks it down there. But Sterling collects on the floor. A lack of options there from the Rhinos. But
needed Blackmore.
Jamie Matthew drives it up. And they're back to within 4 metres of the Halifax line. What can they create? They've got 2 tackles still remaining. Sheridan takes his time to collect the pass. Ball goes out to Godden. Godden's got Rivet outside him. He takes the time to find Rivet, but Rivet just caught, and good shifting defence there from the Blue Sox. It's final tackle now.
Brad Godden's gone down again.
And a little kick through from Harris, trying to catch them unawares. But they were aware to it, and Tuilagi drives it out. They're still only a metre away from their own line, but Brad Godden is down.
He doesn't look good. I think it's a brave effort. He's obviously he's come off, he's cleared his head, and he's gone straight back on, but I think common sense has got to prevail here, and it's a very brave effort, but he doesn't look very well at the moment.
And Tuolagi's gone down as well for Halifax. I think that might be just them clearing their own line and giving themselves a breather. They were under a lot of pressure there.
Well, having said that, I think the assistant is saying he's got to come off.
Yeah, he is. The Halifax physio signalling to the bench that he can't.
Brad Godden insisting that he stayed on as well.
What a brave man Brad Godden is, but he's being told by Seamus McCallum that he'd best to come off now.
I mean, he only touched the ball twice when he came on, but he nearly put his winger in twice.
Well, that's right. I mean, and that's why you need that experience out there. After having lost Richie Blackmore, we can ill afford to lose players of his calibre.
It is a
blow for Leeds to lose both their top line centres.
Well, Halifax losing Tuolagi is some compensation, because as we know, he's a very dangerous winger.
So now Leroy Rivett collects the kick on his own 40 and looks to drive it up. He goes round one man, round two, over the halfway line.
He's having a great game, is Leroy.
What a turnaround in form we've seen from Leroy Rivett this season. He really has come on in leaps and bounds since he was recalled to the side. This is Paul Sterling, he drives it up. And so now it comes out to Harris. Harris has got Marvin Godden, who's on for the injured Brad Godden. Now Farrell finds Morley. Morley drives it up.
He's had another great game tonight.
Terry Newton now goes in at dummy half. And it comes out now to Glanville. Glanville drives it up to the 20. This is good pressure from the Rhinos. This is what they have to do going into the half-time break. Put the pressure on. Make sure they're in a position to score tries, and if the gaps come, punish Halifax Blue Sox. Now Newton feeds it from dummy half out to Sheridan. Sheridan's got Matthew outside him, puts a little grubber kick through. Gibson is dealing with it, he has to kick it dead. Good tactics there from the Rhinos, good chasing, put the pressure on Gibson there.
Yeah, it certainly was. I didn't think the chase was as good as it maybe could have been, but the kick was pinpoint accuracy.
The kick seemed to slow as it got into the goal area. Good tactical kick there from Ryan Sheridan. And Gibson left with no choice but to kick it out. Referee Russell Smith just checking the ball there, might have been a complaint.
I have to apologise to Tuolagi for suggesting that he may have been milking his penalty. He certainly has a nasty leg injury by the look of it.
He still hasn't made it back to the bench.
No, I didn't think he was doing that, because I mean, with Brad Cotton down on his haunches, yeah, you obviously know that they've got one out of the line, and you're better off keeping the ball alive.
Ellery Hamlin will be straight on the phone to him in the dressing room.
And this is Newton, he drives it up from dummy half. Good scurry run, good powerful run from Terry Newton. Although he's been missing for 10 minutes in this first half, he has had a very impressive first half as Estin Harris looks at... He's found a gap, Estin Harris, but he just can't break, and now he goes again. He was caught by the ankles and just kept going.
Yeah,
but was he tackled?
Interference here. I think it was Francis Cummins trying to get support to Estin, was held back.
And so the penalty's given.
And I think maybe the smart thing to do here is to take 2 points, but no. He's decided to go for it. Well, it's fair enough. It's up to him.
Powell out to Glanville. Glanville makes it up to the 10. They have got a set of 6 now inside the Halifax 10. What can they do? And it's Darryl Powell who switches direction from the play of the ball. And he puts it out to Newton. Not the quickest ball in the world, but now it's Harris. Harris inside to Farrell. Farrell driving for the line. Gets the ball out to Ryan Sheridan, who does brilliantly to take that ball in. And so now Newton clears the way for it. His part to be played at dummy half. It's Glanville that drives towards the line, and really Leeds will have...
Great Halifax defence, though, you have to say, at the moment.
And now this is Newton. Newton rebuffed at first attempt, but now Powell gets the ball out to Jamie Matthew. Jamie Matthew skips inside one. Just going towards the line.
The ball needed to go then.
And now it comes out wide. Sheridan feeds Harris. Harris looking for a man outside him. He's found that man, and it's Francis Cummins, but did he make it to the line?
It looked like a double movement.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I mean, we're a long way away, but I would, if I had to take a guess at it, I would say it was a double movement, but you never know.
It's a very wet surface out there.
Yeah, it's a double move. It's possibly even a triple movement.
Was he held, though?
That's true.
Was he held?
Did the ball carrying arm hit the ground?
Well, Russell Smith has gone.
Like Steve-O now.
The referee has gone to the video replay.
Is you know the rules.
Well, I think everybody's got a different interpretation of this rule, so who knows?
Whatever decision's given, Steve-O will go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Well, Francis Cummins was
certainly right that he wasn't held.
He was having a big crawl across the floor there.
This could be a try, you know.
We wait for the video referee. The screen is poised on Francis Cummins, the would-be try scorer. We wait for a decision. Penalty kick, defence.
Damn.
Well,
how wrong I was. I think it was me heart rather than me head.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. We all rule by a heart every now and then. We'd love to have seen a Francis Cummins try there, but as it is, it was a good effort from the Rhinos. They've put pressure on Halifax.
Yeah, good defence by Halifax. You've got to give them some credit there for keeping Leeds out.
And so now Halifax start this on their own 10. So if the Rhinos can put a good set of 6 in here defensively,
It'll be half time.
it'll be half time. Exactly. Comes out now to Mercer. Very typical style of Gary Mercer there.
I just had a sneaky feeling we were going to see Jamie Matthews first try then, but I didn't like to say anything, and
We were waiting for it.
Yeah, nearly.
He told me he's waiting for the grand final.
Is that what it is? The winning try. And it comes out now. And this is good defence by the Rhinos.
He could get in some practice tonight.
And there's a touch of afters there as players being dragged all over. Is it Darryl Powell who's in there? The penalty's been given. And really, the Rhinos giving away yardage here.
8
We've
for
seen
the
it-
penalty count.
Yeah, we've seen it throughout this first half. I can tell you that Brad Godden has returned back to the bench. So he's obviously been on the treatment table, and whatever he's had done has been made up. And that's the half-time hooter. So it's 6-0 to the Halifax Blue Sox. That Tuilangi try, clinch conversion on the 32nd minute, and really it couldn't be much tighter, Dean.
No, Phil, it's still anybody's game, and I know I've watched quite a bit of Halifax this year, and they're right on form at the moment, but where they do let themselves down at times is their defence. And if Leeds keep plugging away, they've got the firepower still in this side to make sure they capitalise and come out with the goods at the end of the game.
Well, certainly the Rhinos have shown enough going forward to suggest that they can get on top, and the defence has been tight. But that one mistake on the big bomb. Well, it's 6-0 at half-time. Stay tuned to Radio Rhino for all the in-depth analysis of that first half, and for full second half uninterrupted commentary direct from Headingley. Well, welcome back to Headingley. The teams are back in the field, and it'll be a big task now for the Rhinos. They've got to come back. They've 6-0 down, as Phil pointed out at the half-time. It's 3 halves of football now that they haven't managed to get a point on the board against Halifax. They'll need to get one, and pretty early, I would have thought, Dean.
That's right, as Phil said, they're doing all the right things, but the scoreboard is where it counts, and at the moment they're behind, but they're doing all the right things, and if they can still control the ball in this half like they did in the first half, it'll soon wear the Halifax side out, and they can't sort of put a big 40 minutes in like they did in defence in the first half. I don't think they're capable of it, this team.
Although they have got their first choice front row to come back, which bolster possibly, hopefully Leeds will have scored by then, and it'll change John Pendlebury's tactical planning.
Well, that's right, but I mean, what you are looking at here is, we're not going to make any excuses, but we're looking at a depleted lineup, and it's not their first up team, Leeds, but it's certainly a side still capable of coming away with a victory here tonight.
And the kick goes through deep, and Harris picks it up, and there is a big contingent from Halifax here tonight, and they're now situated at the old scoreboard end. They've moved there at in the half-time interval, and they'll be looking
easy for them to get out at the end.
And here it comes now with Newton, who feeds Sheridan. Sheridan's got Golden outside him, but Golden's got little spot, but he's made a gap. Well done, Marvin Golden. A brilliant piece of footwork that took him an extra 10-15 metres than he would have been. Now Sheridan drives it up to the halfway line. He scoots from underneath tackles, and eventually it comes in, and he's put down by Moana. Newton feeds Matthew. He'll be looking for a big game, Jamie Matthew, and he's looked very lively since he's come on the field. And Glanville feeds Morley. Morley drives it up the centre of the park, just as we come to expect from Adrian Morley. And there was just no support for him there. Missed the last tackle now. What can Leeds do? Harris has got it in his hands. It goes out to Powell. Powell gets the ball out to Cummins. Cummins jinking inside. Cummins says he made it to the line. He looks to be held up by Gibson there.
Last tackle, so I think it's a turnover.
And it is the turnover. But good options there from the Rhinos. Looking to get the try, looking to go. Just couldn't quite get over.
But again, it's a desperate Halifax defence that's keeping them in this game.
You have to say that Adrian Morley really is turning out to be the young forward of the future. Every time he touches the ball, Halifax can't lay a hand on him.
Well, that's right, and I mean, as we know, there's not much yardage to be gained down the middle of the park, but at the moment, every time Adrian Morley touches the ball, he's finding it.
And so now Halifax look to drive it out. Hall feeds it out. And looking to get an offload there.
I think that certainly looked like a knock-on from Des Clark. He lost control of the ball. Whether it hit the ground, I'm not sure.
Clinch puts the kick in. Harris is taking his time here. Now he picks it up. He's got Sterling inside him if he needs him. He does. He gives it out to Sterling. Sterling drives it up the middle of the field. And he just makes it up to his own 25. Marvin Golden in a dummy half. He gets the ball quickly away to Leroy Rivet. Another paster. And he drives it forward.
He's had a good game tonight, Leroy.
Certainly has.
Not looked out of his depth at all.
And Marvin Golden likewise hasn't, since he's come off the bench to replace Brad Godden. And now it goes out to Anthony Farrell. He drives it up, and it's worth mentioning the biting cold that's in the ground today. Certainly the players will long since have forgotten summer rugby tonight. And Jamie Matthew knocks it on there. Unfortunate for the Rhinos. I think half in his mind was an offload there, and he didn't concentrate on keeping hold of the ball, and it spilled as he went down to the ground. And really the Rhinos will have to keep up the same percentage of success rate on the sets of 16.
Yeah, I think so. It was late in the tackle count there. Jamie Matthew was just trying to create something, but yeah, they can ill afford mistakes like that.
So now Halifax bring it away from the space of the scrum. They're tackled well on the 40. Adrian Morley puts another big hit in. Certainly at this stage he seems to be an advanced candidate for man of the match. He really has led from the front for the Rhinos. And this is Marshall.
Defence is good, but you just need to see Leeds with the ball in their hands now.
And now it's coming across to the right wing of Leeds. But Powell gets the tackle in well there. And now this is Clinch. Clinch puts the bomb up again. They'll be looking at put the same sort of confusion in. But Harris takes his time. Well done, Yestin Harris there. He wasn't interested in the players that were steaming towards him. He put his eyes down and got the hand. Now Leroy Rivet makes a half break and keeps going. A great
run. Great run there by Leroy.
Fantastic stuff from Leroy Rivet. If he's given a yard, he takes 10. And it's great stuff there from Leroy Rivet.
And I think the only reason Gavin Clinch was there was because he'd taken a dive from the kick through that he put on just in the tackle before.
And Terry Newton looking to give the offload.
Terry's got to realise he doesn't need to force the ball in that situation. Just a bit of inexperience there coming from Terry.
And Gary Mercer drives it out for...
Again, it was early in the tackle count.
Yeah.
Undoes all the hard work by Leroy Rivet.
That's Adrian Morley in there. Big hit from Adrian Morley. He just puts the hit in and then just wanders his way back into the line as if he did it every single day of the week.
That's what it does. It inspires his teammates.
And now it comes out. And they'll have to put a hit in here. And it is Powell and Darren Fleary. Put the tackle in first of all. He didn't put the man down, Moana it was, but he hanged on for dear life and eventually slowed him down so Powell could get the hit in, and that ball's kicked straight in a touch.
That's a bad mistake. They've been doing exactly the same thing in their last couple of sets, but that was a bad kick from Gavin Clinch. There's not too many mistakes in his game, but there certainly was one there.
Do you get the impression that it's a bit like a dam waiting to burst, that if Leeds could score, then well, Halifax certainly won't give in. They're not a side that ever would, but one score may lead to a second like Wigan of the old days.
That's right. I mean, I know it's stating the obvious, but I think Leeds need to score fairly quickly because I think that'll give them the confidence, and you can see that the players are out there. They're trying their best, but I just think it'll give them that little bit extra freedom that they need.
Well, one thing that may turn the game, and we're just seeing him warming up down the bench, it's Marcus St-Hilaire. That, of course, would probably mean that we'd see Yestin Harris moving up to standoff and St-Hilaire in at fullback. But now it's Harris who has the ball in the hands, and he makes it up to the 40.
Yes, as you say, that could have put a different complexion on this game with Yestin moving up to 5'8".
And it's Dale Powell that makes way for St-Hilaire. So that is what will happen. Now, Harris has the ball in his hand for the first time at standoff. He puts the little kick through, but Gibson collects and makes it out to the 20.
Yes, as we all know, Damien Gibson, don't we? And he's certainly done nothing wrong tonight. He's been in the right place at the right time.
Moana feeds it out to Dale Powell, who bounces off one tackle and heads towards Adrian Morley. What a brave man he is.
Yeah, he's a big, strong boy, isn't he? He's built like a bit like a second row out there.
And now Darren Fleary's turn to put the big hit in. And he struggles to bring Mercer down, but he does eventually. And there's a penalty given for a high tackle, is it? No, for use of a knee from Terry Newton.
I think Terry's fired up here, but he's got to play with his head at the moment, and I'll say just a little bit of inexperience going. But I mean, he's doing a good job for them tonight. So he's just got to make sure he puts a bit more thought into what he's doing.
Well, the Rhinos trail 6-0, 8 minutes gone in the second half, and it's important if they can get a score soon, but they won't do it at the moment because Halifax have got the ball in their hands. Dummy to Mercer, but it comes back inside, but Fleary's tight up there, as is Jamie Matthew. This is Marshall drives it up, but Newton goes in low, and Farrell goes up top to complete the tackle. Now this is Clinch running at the line. We haven't seen him as creative, but he's managed to get the ball back inside, and this has gone to Martin Hall. Martin Hall's got the ball away, and still the ball's still not brought down. This is Mercer heading towards the line, but Jamie Matthew puts the big hit on him and pulls him down some 15 metres out from the Rhinos line. And now this is coming out to the right hand side, a ball put back inside, just brought down there. Bouvang it was.
Great cover there by Jamie Matthew.
Looking to go over from dummy half, but they can't get over.
Good defence.
Turnover there. Great stuff from the Rhinos.
Halifax running to that side, are very dangerous, especially with Marty Moana running across the field. But it was great cover there. He didn't complete the tackle, Jamie Matthew, but he did get in, I think, Martin Pearson's way.
And clash of heads there. Certainly pointing to the head. It was referee Russell Smith as he wandered over there.
You do worry that if Halifax are the next scorers, it might be a bridge too far for Leeds.
Could he be the man to turn it? Andy Hay, we've certainly seen him come on in different games.
Well, yeah, he's a man capable, and that's right. And we all look at the bench and see the strength of the bench, and we know that Andy is capable of changing a game. So I think it's about the right time to bring him on.
So now Leeds look to pull it out from their own line. Yestin Harris spins in the tackle and makes extra yards. And I mean, that's just one of the facets of Yestin Harris's strength. He's really puts a lie to his size with his strength.
Well, that's right.
And power.
I think Graham Murray has stated all along that Yestin Harris is the best back in the competition, and Adrian Morley's the best forward in the competition. And from what we've seen tonight, how can you disagree?
Sheridan takes it up to the halfway line. Leeds were looking to have quick play. The ball's there to try and catch Halifax offside as they were panicking. Marcus St Hilaire puts a little grubber kick through, but there was no real distance on it, and now Halifax will get to start their set of 6 just inside their own half, and the ball goes out. Really well wrapped up there.
I don't know why Marcus St Hilaire took the option on the last tackle to grub her through. It seems to be the wrong man in the wrong place.
Tackle put in by Sterling. Now this is 19 Bouvang, who goes from dummy half, looking to create something.
Looks like Carl Harrison back for Des Clark. It's a blood bin.
So maybe John Penn will be enforced in his tactics there, bringing Harrison on earlier than he would have wanted to. Clinch feeds it out, goes out to, well, it's well tackled there by Cummins. Kick goes through, but it goes dead. That was good set of 6. Jamie Plume putting the kick through, but the Rhinos weren't worried by it. It was always going dead, and they judged it well, and they'll get a scrum, head and feed.
Just playing in the wrong part of the pitch at the moment.
And so now Leeds must collect their thoughts and get themselves ready.
Yeah, just listening to the Halifax crowd there, it's important that our crowd get back in behind our boys, and they've gone a bit quiet lately, and and the boys are doing everything out there, so they really need to get behind them.
Terry Newton's coming off for a blood bin.
Blood bin.
Well, that's a good change, isn't it, when you can do that for the blood? It is blood, not tomato sauce, as Phil might have mentioned before.
So Yestin Harris goes to scrum half, and Dale Powell goes to standoff, with Ryan Sheridan going in at hooker. This may it's forced on them by a blood bin, but it may be a good option now for the Rhinos. As we see Andy Hay warming up, he's going to make a presence in this game, and he's a forward who certainly can turn a game. He's a very mobile, with good hands.
I think he'd be on for Anthony Farrell.
And Farrell's being talked to now as Mick Cook goes over to him, the Rhinos trainer. And now it comes out to Matthew. Matthew ducks under one tackle as well there, makes him look a couple of yards there. And now this is Harris. Harris puts the bomb up, but it's going to fall short, is it? Cummins is chasing Gibson and puts the tackle in on Gibson.
Yeah, Damien Gibson doesn't drop too many of those, does he? And I think if they are going to work, they've got to be high enough to allow the Leeds team to get there.
And it's Darren Fleary that is going to come off for Andy Hay. Just confusion there. He was making his way to the sidelines. Have to make sure they keep the defensive line tight. Gary Mercer drives it up straight into Darryl Powell. Maybe a score to settle there for Gary Mercer. Now this is Harrison. Harrison looks to get the hand off, but he can't get the offload. This is Hall. Hall feeds Clinch. It's going out wide. Out to Moana, but he's well tackled.
Yes, they've got to push hard on the inside. Marty Moana likes to drift out to the outside and step back in.
And the kick goes through. St Hilaire has that well judged and picks it up on his own 12. Dummies does a quick inside. He just comes back inside and he's found space now. Can he get through the tackles? He can't, but he did well there to make out the volley. Great running from Marcus St Hilaire. What a fantastic player is. He's come on so well this season. Yestin Harris just running there. No one really interested in tackling him. He was looking for an option. It wasn't coming. And Liz Darren Fleary that makes way for Andy Hay. So Anthony Farrell will move up to prop. And Marvin Golden does good running there. He makes it up to the 30. Now the crowd come alive and they cheer on their team. And this is so important for the Rhinos. They are on home territory, lest we forget. And it comes out now to Harris. Harris has got Powell outside him. He doesn't need him. He jinks inside. It goes to Anthony Farrell. And Anthony Farrell right next to the post. What a move. What a play. Yestin Harris just timed that perfectly. We said the crowd were getting into this game. They'll certainly get into it now. That was great stuff from the Rhinos, Dean.
It certainly was. I tell you what, it couldn't have come at a better time, get it? And it was that man that's been doing it all season, Yestin Harris. There was nothing on. He just went up to a very static defensive line. He'd just taken the ball in 2 tackles before that. So that shows his involvement. That shows his enthusiasm. He's leading from the front. And on his hip was Anthony Farrell.
And I think you called it earlier that it could be even the game breaker. The introduction of Marcus St Hilaire.
And as I say, this has brought the crowd back into it, hasn't it? And they're starting to get behind the players now. And I think this will give the Leeds Rhinos some great impetus to carry on here.
Well, we said that maybe if they could get the score, they might, the dam gates may open. They've got the score now. We'll wait and see whether that does happen. Now, Yestin Harris lines up the conversion. He'll need to get this.
Anybody want to take odds for a golden point in about an hour's time?
Well, if we're still here, we'll see about it then. That's what happens if it's a draw at the 80. We have 10 minutes each way, extra time. And Yestin Harris slots it over, and that makes it 6 points all on the night. And really, it's couldn't be much tighter in. Draw 6-all, and really, this is the test of this team now. We can hear the crowd come alive, and they'll need to drive their team on.
Well, they certainly need to, yes, and that's what they're doing at the moment. But as I said before, when we had that injury to Brad Godden, it must have been in Graham Murray's mind to make that change about putting Marcus on, but he waited, he knew the time wasn't right. The Halifax forwards are starting to tire, and it was a great run by Marcus St Hilaire that set it all going.
In the 50th
now
minute.
This set of 6 is important because that's the first time Leeds have got into the red zone for about 5 minutes, and now they start again from that very same position.
No penalties has got to be the call here.
It's crucial. They have to keep their discipline now, the Rhinos. No messing around at playing the balls. Get the tackles in, get the player down, and make sure that there's no offloads. And it's Carrison that tries it up. It's try scorer Farrell who puts the tackle in. And this is Moana. He'll have to be watched. He does roam around that back line looking for an opening.
It's controlled aggression from here, big defence, and then getting the ball in the right part of the field.
And Gary Mercer's turned back there by Mark Lamble, and that Clinch has to put the kick in. And was Adrian Morley late there?
No.
Certainly Clinch is going to milk it because he's been milking ones that haven't been late.
That's right.
The referee's called him out.
Adrian Morley just carried on with the charge down, and he couldn't stop himself in mid-air, could he?
No, he's called him over.
I mean,
Yestin Harris is going over to Russell Smith as his captain to talk to him, and Russell Smith was waving away.
To put it on report.
Well, admittedly, he fell awkwardly, but he's been diving all night. But that's besides the point. When he took off in the air, the ball had gone. So as I say, you can't stop yourself in mid-air.
Russell Smith hasn't even bothered to ask his touch judge. He's just taken it upon himself to rule that. And he was a good 20 metres away from the actual incident. And as a result, Halifax have a penalty 25 metres out. on the south stand touchline side, about 5 metres in from that touchline side. I'm pretty sure that Clinch will be able to take the kick. He can't be that badly hurt. And we see Paul Rowley come back on for Hall. And really, John Pendlebury maybe seeing his side, he needs to G his own side up. They were under pressure there and they've got away with it.
Well, he's the sort of player that you do bring on late in the second half. He's a player that can scurry from dummy half and make a lot of yardage.
And so now the boos and jeers that accompany an away team kicking for goal, especially in such a tight game, 6-all, let me remind you. This penalty could be crucial.
Dean's call was no penalties, and here we are looking at a penalty.
So he lines it up with a firm contact. And he's missed it, he's missed it. 6 points all it remains, and the Rhinos have got away with it there, but it has gone dead. And they will have to give the ball back to the Halifax Blue Sox and let them come at them again. And even more so now, the penalties will be crucial. They'll have to keep their discipline, nothing silly. Even if it does mean changing direction in the middle of the air. And now the big hit put in again by Adrian Moore. He's not flustered by that, he knows he was in the right. And he'll carry on putting the hits in. And Mercer's brought down by Hay.
Certainly Clinch has been frustrated tonight, and every kick he has been staying down just to see if he could get a penalty. I don't know if that was any worse than any of the others.
Harrison drives it on now for the Blue Sox. Rowley gives it out, and it comes back to Rowley. Was there a knock on there? Suspicion it may have been.
He just caught it on the full, on the half volley.
Now Clinch has it. He puts the kick in again, and Adrian Moore.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Adrian, very smart thing there. He
just said, "Do you think you got away with it last time?
That's
I'm still
right.
after you."
That's right. And he could have pulled away from that, but he had no reason to.
Marcus St-Hilaire scooted away first of all, and now it's Leroy Rivet who does the hard work.
I tell you what, if Leeds do come away with a victory here, the wingers, just as we get a penalty here for a flop, the wingers will have had a big say in it. Every time we've been down on our line under pressure, it's been one of the wingers or Marvin Golden that's made a good run, and that's what you need out of a set of 6. You need one good run coming away from your line.
I think that
Russell Smith's marching back another 10. There was something said there, a bit of afters. Mark Lambert wasn't happy.
I think we have to say that it's the two youngsters, Golden and Rivet, that have done the best work in that respect. And again, that's a testament to their development and the whole coaching staff here, because they're ready for this level of football, and that is incredible.
And when you consider they've come in for 2 internationals in place of Godden and Blackmore, it really is a magnificent effort from the two lads.
Well, that's right, and I mean that's what you want in a club, don't you? You want the youngsters ready to step into the breach when needed.
Harris gives a wild pass out, but it finds Cummins, and Cummins looks for a gap. Could he have found it? No, he's wrapped up, but he gets up again and he's prevented from playing the ball. But Russell Smith says, play on, keep it going. Glanville feeds inside to Morley. Morley hands off Mercer, but goes down eventually.
I think a drop kick wouldn't go astray here shortly, but they're actually going away from the post.
And so Farrell skids and goes in.
Yeah, I don't think it was a smart move there.
And now it comes out to Powell. Powell didn't have many options there, puts a little kick high in the air. It looks to push it out, but he just can't find Sterling, and Halifax will come away with it on their own 10.
Yeah, again.
Suspicion that Paul Sterling was reefing the ball out there.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds have got to be smart here, and there's no reason to even have your hand on the ball and try and reef it out, you know? If you haven't got your hand there, the referee can't penalise you. I mean, the defence at the moment, and like it's been all night, is good enough.
They're certainly giving themselves plenty to do, Leeds. Giving away needless penalties.
It's field position. Leeds haven't spent enough time in the Halifax 20.
And the scores still remain 6 each.
Yes.
And the ball's popped out there. Oh, Russell Smith! Surely, yes, he has caught it back.
Oh, that's all right.
It's all right. Russell Smith couldn't really get out of the way. You couldn't blame him.
Yeah.
He was never going to allow play to go on. He knew it'd come off him, and the ball's dead as soon as it does. But a great hit on Carl Harrison.
Yeah, that was a bad mistake by Carl. He'd be very disappointed, being the experienced campaigner he is. He knows how important it is to control that ball.
Only 18 minutes remain in this match before it's 6-all, and if it stays that way after the 8, we will have 10 minutes extra time, and then a 10-minute spell of golden point. But Marcus St-Hilaire is going to make a mockery of that as he goes through. He tricks and turns, and Marcus St-Hilaire, what a runner, what a try, and what a player. He's a youngster, but he's got a great future in front of him, and he won't score much of a better try than that. He stepped off 1 foot, found a gap, put the gas down, and went straight over the line.
But again, that's what players with genuine speed can do, can't they? There was nothing on there. most people would have stepped the other way, but he had the presence of mind to go in, then away again, and tremendous footwork there, and as I say, great speed to finish the try.
And you have to say as well, how bad does Carl Harrison's mistake look now? From the scrum, Iestyn Harris picked up the ball at scrum half. He looked at the Halifax defence. You could almost see them thinking, we've had this in training, it's St Helens all over again. But he held up the ball. Powell was a magnificent link, but St Hilaire double step, one way and then the other, magnificent.
Yeah. They're born into you, and I say that's what wins big games, is special talent like that.
Most improved player at the club this year, perhaps?
Yes, well, I mean, we've had a few, haven't we? So it'll be hard to pick one out, but
I suppose we should credit the person that bought him here.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Who was that?
And so Iestyn Harris converts the try. Yeah, well done Hugh again, bringing Marcus St Hilaire. Harris conversion makes it 12 points to 6. And
perhaps the transfer tribunal isn't such a bad idea now.
Well, we still think it's unfair, but it doesn't matter now, and it just shows that if you can get the young talent into a good setup, into a professional setup, you know, they can kick on, and that's why it's important that we keep on doing that.
And it's also like we said that if Leeds were to get that score, the floodgates might open. Halifax haven't had any real pressure on since Leeds got that first score.
Well, I mean, you know, they were given a lifeline by that penalty, only for Carl Harrison, one of their most experienced player, to knock on the first tackle. But I think what you will see here, I think now, is the drop kick will come very, very important, and that will put a lot of pressure on Halifax.
And so now Hay puts the tackle in on Mercer.
You can also see a spring in the step of the Leeds defence. Not that it wasn't there before, but they are itching to get off the defensive line and get into Halifax.
Powell and Matthew get the tackling on that occasion.
By the same token,
and the ball's knocked on again there by Halifax.
I was going to say, by the same token, there isn't the same support play from the Halifax back line that there was when with a man charging into the ruck.
And was it Harrison again there?
It was Harrison again.
Disappointing for the Halifax captain. I know he'll feel that he let his side down there twice, but he'll have to make amends for it now under defence. That's what it's all about.
Now, there's plenty of time. There's 15 minutes to go. This one's still in the fire.
And now it comes out to Powell. Powell feeds Morley. Morley steps again and pushes off Rowley and goes again and makes another couple of yards.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Phil. It's important that we don't get too excited because, oh yeah, we're in the driving seat, but there's still a long way to go.
And Matthew takes it up. Very experienced player, Jamie Matthew, in semi-final football. He played there at reserve grade out in Australia. He knows what it's all about.
Kelvin Skerritt ready to come back on, so Halifax are calling on all their resources. Last tackle.
Ball goes out to Powell. Powell trying the drop goal. He's got the length on it. Has it got the direction? Oh my word, it has! What a great kick from Darryl Powell. It was flying off his boot, and it was just a question of whether it was going in the right direction.
I was just going to say, why don't they drive the next one towards the post? For the second time they drove away, but they don't need to with a man like that. But he'll probably say he's been doing that all the summer at training. But
no one will let him have a pot shot.
None as important as that.
That's great stuff, and it shows the wealth of experience that Darryl Powell's got, and he's able to. He's played in so many positions, and he's able to. We've had trouble here tonight with players going off injured and having to shuffle the pack, and yet he's been consistent throughout.
No, well, the whole team have, haven't they?
Yeah, the big kick-off.
And that is very, very important breathing space in such a tight game. This is the first time the sides have been 2 scores apart, and that could be enough.
It comes on the 66th minute.
I think Gary Mercer will have Adrian Morley's shoulder embedded in his chest tonight.
It's a good job they're friends.
Well, so they say, but...
I think there's a bit of rivalry.
Oh, I think so.
And so now...
It's what happens when you give Gary Mercer a newspaper collar.
Comes out now. Looking to create something, Halifax. I have to say, well wrapped up there.
And that is amazing because that is the half-backs. That could be the tackle of the night.
Yeah.
Well, he certainly is a captain that leads his team, and if they needed any more leading out there to be told to get up in the face of the Halifax Blue Sox, there it was from their captain.
And full credit to Darryl Powell as well, who was there to give him a hand. But how you can pick a guy that's, what, a size and a half bigger than you up and drive him back, unbelievable.
And so now...
I think Paul Sterling did watch the ball go into touch there, but for my mind, I think, you know, probably the best thing to do is keep the ball alive, keep it in play, because that's where we are breaking them, is from second phase play.
I think the other thing we have to say as well is that last week there was one player out there that was so dominant, and tonight he hasn't really had his hands on the ball, and that's got to be a credit to the way Leeds have played this game. Gavin Clinch has done nothing tonight. It's not to say he won't change the game in the last 12 minutes, but Leeds have really countered his threat, and that is an amazing turnaround.
Marcus St-Hilaire looking to make a break there. He's had a hit put on him.
He's had a flop across his head by somebody that came in very, very late. Looked a bit accidental, to be fair, but it did catch him.
Well, after what we saw on Friday night,
I think it was just a passing stray knee.
Nothing too malicious in there.
I don't think
he was taking his time, having a bit of a breather.
I wonder if that was Calvin Scarrett.
What would give that away?
Well, the South Stand seem to know who they're talking about.
Well, there's plenty of eyes over there to see who it was, so we'll take their
It wasn't one of the roly-polies, was it?
So now it comes out to Harris. Harris finds Hay. Hay's got Cummins outside him. Cummins has got Sterling outside him. And he looked to have made the break there, Cummins, and he was dragged into touch there.
Great tackle by Jamie Bloom.
Yeah, I mean, Francis did the right thing. He tried to have a go. He nearly got on the outside of him. But Bloom's defensive qualities have been very high tonight.
And so Halifax will get the head and feed. So 10,451 inside the grounds.
Well, I was way off with my pick.
Yeah. I'd have had at least 15,000 for a game like this. I don't know if the cold or the rain put anybody off, but really they should have come and witnessed. This is fantastic.
Well, they've missed out, haven't they?
They have. This has been superb.
More pity those that haven't turned up.
There's another terrible mistake. I mean, John Pendlebury, I mean, you certainly don't coach those sort of things, and it's the sort of things like that lose your big games.
And so the Rhinos get head and feed at the scrum. Cummins out to Harris. Harris outside to Golden. Golden just slips on the wet turf, and he's
borrowed Paul Sterling's boots at half-time.
And now it comes out. Oh no, he goes from dummy half. Good stuff there from the Rhinos.
That's the experience.
Man again, Marcus St-Hilaire.
That's somebody putting an old head on a young body there just to do that. Again, Leeds drive it to the post, drop a goal if necessary. I sound like Steve-O.
Darryl Powell gives it out to Hay. He just couldn't keep the ball. It was like a jumping bean in his hands.
That's a shame. I think if he had held on to that ball, he would have gone straight through.
Yeah, he was going very far, like a juggernaut there. Would have been hard for someone to stop him. And so the Halifax Blue Sox will get head and feed. So it goes to out to Mercer, who dropped off out of that scrum. And he's well tackled by Darryl Powell.
We're into the last 10 minutes of the game. This is a crucial period.
And still the Rhinos don't let up. It's a big effort on defence tonight. They haven't had everything their own way, but they've come back at Halifax. They were 6-0 down, they're back to 13-6 now. Usually 2 scores in front.
It is some team that can turn around a 42-0 deficit. I know we're talking about a completely different change of personnel, a different venue and a different competition, but it's not over yet. But you have to say it has been a remarkable transformation.
What is different, and what has made the most difference, is a different attitude.
And Clinch puts the kick in. Certainly a name we haven't been saying as much as we were last week. And again the ball is left to bounce, and Sterling and Harris make a meal of it, and the ball's gone out wide. And they're going to go over, are they, Halifax? No, he's knocked on at the line. He's knocked on there.
I hope the referee doesn't go here to the screen, because I think someone pulled the ball out, and I think it'll go their way.
He's going to the screen. We'll see what happens there.
If it's a one-on-one, though, he's entitled to throw the ball out.
I think there was a man down below.
There was a man down below.
We'll wait and see now.
But again, I say it's the guy with the ball in his hands. It's his fault for not holding on to it, and I'll always say that.
And it's the Leeds defence fault for not actually
communicating again. That's right. You think they would have learnt after the first time?
Well, just from the naked eye, it looked like the ball had gone behind him and he was struggling to hold on to it. The crowd reaction here was a cheer as if that had happened. But
no, he's only looked at it once, so I don't think it'll be a try.
No try. I would have thought be the prediction here. 20-metre place kick.
I was a bit worried then.
He was turning and he was lifted off the floor, and he seemed to lose sort of bearings where he was, and the ball spilled out. There were players in attendance.
And that could be a game breaker.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to sort something out, though. I mean, that was Paul Sterling's ball for my mind, and
he seemed to go for it, then stop,
yes,
and then you've got to be decisive in occasions
well,
like
it's
this.
just got to be the core, my ball, you know, and it's something you learn at a very young age.
I'll say one thing, that if the Rhinos do come away from this, Andy Farrell will be out kicking everything next Sunday night. He'll be peppering,
that's right.
peppering the Rhinos back line with high balls.
Yeah, but so will Graham Murray.
Yeah.
He'll be out giving them practice, or he'll be putting in players that can cope with that.
Oh, look like a high tackle there on Andy Hay. But it goes unchecked.
Certainly Andy Hay had a look at the touch judge to say, where were you?
Jamie Matthew now tries it up. And Clinch is very quick off the mark.
Sheridan did well though, right option, and a good chase from Cummins, and Powell again. You've got to say Darryl Powell has been superb tonight.
And a big hit from Powell. It
has been reminiscent of Leeds at Central Park, the way Darryl Powell's played tonight. And look at the Leeds defence there.
But Darryl Powell's always been a top player. It's only injuries that really have blighted his career, and
although to be fair, his Great Britain record is quite sensational.
Well, that's right. But I mean,
he's about something like the current players' fourth on the list of Great Britain appearances.
But I think just as far as club consistency goes, he's always been had injury problems, and
yeah, he could.
And I think even this year he's got himself fully fit. He's done some tremendous work under Edgar Curtis, and at the moment he's buzzing.
Little chip through. Francis Cummins goes to take it. He knocks it backwards.
He did well to read it, actually.
Great work by Francis. You know, he was right out here at centre. Oh no!
And the ball ripped away from Leroy Rivets.
Clinch again, and that's not the first time he's done that.
Oh, and a penalty's given there. Like, that was a harsh one, a call.
Got to be careful here.
So they take the quick one, and Harrison does it. Well, I say quick, but he was nearly walking when he came into the tackle there.
He's the danger man. Martin
runs it through. He crosses over the 20-metre line. The Rhinos will have to withstand this late pressure. They are 2 scores in front, but they don't want to keep it down to 1 point going into the final minutes of the game. And now this is Gibson. How much he would love to get a try against his former side. And Terry Newton's about to come back onto the field. This is Mercer, another former Headingley favourite. Comes back inside to Bloom. Bloom looking for a hole. Darryl Powell's got him ripped up, so does Jamie Matthew. They just stagger to bring him down though. Now they're on the 3-metre line. Rowley looking to go. Gives it to Clinch. Clinch out to Harrison. Harrison's well tackled there.
Great tackle there.
Last tackle now. Clinch out wide. Have they found space? I think they have. Oh, well wrapped up. The ball comes flying out. And again, they're going for the line. There's a big mayhem there towards the line.
It seemed harder not to score there.
Halifax stuck their hands up in the air. The Halifax supporters down that end certainly had a cheer. What's the referee's decision? He's got on the video. Now this will be interesting. We couldn't see it from where we were. There was a big cheer from the Halifax fans down there. Going for the corner. No, on the leg. Certainly on the leg.
On the knee, yep. Somebody's knee.
And it bounced out. I think it might have been Francis Cummins' knee there.
Leeds have done this tough if they're going to do it.
The ball comes across. And Francis Cummins does well, if it is Francis Cummins, to get under there. And Darryl Powell comes off to a standing ovation. And he is one man who's won over the Leeds fans this year. I think it's fair to say that not many Leeds fans would have had him in their list of favourites at the start of the year, but he's had a great season for the Rhinos.
He's a player I've always admired. As I say, when he's fully fit, you know, he's a tough competitor.
So here we see what will the decision.
Cameraman's fallen over.
Certainly for mine, it's no try.
Leeds and Halifax have lined up that it is no try.
Here we see, we're just waiting the tensions, and it's a 20-metre place kick. So they're certainly giving the fans plenty to think about here today. I don't think we can cope if it did go extra time. Put our nerves to the very edge tonight, but the defence has been so strong. We're here in the man of the match. Here it is. And it is Darryl Powell that gets that man of the match. What a fantastic effort from Darryl Powell.
And somebody's picked it that knows something about rugby league.
So Jamie Matthew drives it up to the 30.
You can see why Gateshead would have been interested in him.
It comes out to Sheridan. Sheridan finds Glanville.
That's the experience of a grand final winner.
Certainly, Mark Glanville has never been found wanting in this game. Yestin Harris puts the kick in. Paul Sterling's racing down on Bouvang, and he takes it on his line. Cummins has to get the tackle in. It goes out to Gibson, who skids on the turf just as he would have been looking at a take-off. And Harris
was one of the first down the middle of the park, and it was the man that kicked the ball. Yeah,
superb effort from Yestin Harris. Following up his own kick.
We should credit Francis Cummins again tonight, because he's played in the centre, he's been out on the wing, his defensive work has been excellent. He's been the right man in the right place, and if it was his knee, then I'll be buying it a drink tonight.
Jamie Bloom goes arcing out of his own 20, makes it up to the 20. There's an offload out of the way, but again the slippery conditions have a bearing as the players fall before the tackle comes in. And now Clinch offloads out to Mercer going sideways again and bouncing off tackles, but he is tackled. He's only made about 2 metres in that run. Adrian Moore had his back to the tackle there, but Rowley did well to
no support though. Run out of support, and we're into the last 4 minutes.
Fair, we say there's no support there, but the Rhinos haven't let off, and a lot of credit's got to go as we see the ball coming out now.
Magnificent tackle from Andy Hay.
On there. Credit has got to go to Edgar Curtis, who's got the Rhinos players in the peak of fitness, and they really, now we see this is the hard end of the season, this is the sharp end, and this is when fitness will count, and we're seeing it from the Rhinos. Great support, we saw it with Anthony Farrell's try, great support to Yestin Harris, and it's again going to pay great dividends, I'm sure, in the final analysis of the season.
Yes, and a lot of credit has to go to Graham Murray, like it usually does, but to the way he's used the bench. I think it's a tremendous effort.
Cummins got 2 men outside him, gives it a Sterling. Sterling jinks back inside. He's just caught by Bouvang. Newton back on for Powell. He goes in at dummy half, goes out to Harris. Harris finds Morley. Morley steps and goes again.
And this really is what playoff football's all about.
And just winding down the clock now, the Rhinos. 3 minutes to go.
You wouldn't want this any other way, would you?
Still could get a bit hairy unless the Rhinos can get another score here just to make things safe. And here we go, looking for the drop kick. Yestin Harris. And it's hit the post and bounces back. Oh. And could the Rhinos have a score here? Oh, good work there from Leroy Rivet, was it? Who chased up the kick and kept the man dead in goal.
Great result.
As he made it out to the goal line. And the players getting a bit...
It's frustration on the Halifax side. I think Pearson feeling it maybe got into play or whatever.
But, you know, it just shows the effort that's been put in tonight. There was the prop forward, Jamie Matthew, one of the first players there.
Great effort from Jamie Matthew. And for the entire 17 men, it really has been a 17-man effort from the Rhinos tonight.
And this is working the clock down, which is good. And 2 sin binnings here. Pearson and
Rivet, is it?
Yeah, I don't always believe this is right. You know, I mean, I think the person who started it is really the instigator, and just because someone does retaliate, or I mean, what are you supposed to do? Just accept it. And you know, sometimes I think that the referees just do it for the sake of it.
So Pearson,
he hasn't given a penalty, he's just sin bin the 2 players, which seems bizarre.
Well, he's consistent, that's what you ask a referee.
So unless both of them are retaliating at exactly the same moment. The ball comes out now, and Cummins...
There's a bit of a poor effort at a short kick off there, or drop kick.
Cummins
just run from dummy half. Just run from dummy half or 1 out. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
Just what he didn't. Although it may have come off a Halifax hand.
Graham Murray would be so disappointed in that. I mean, you've just got to be a lot smarter. Look, there's under 2 minutes to go.
Yep.
I know it's easy for us standing up here, but you know, you shouldn't even contemplate trying to pass the ball
to the post and a drop goal.
So it's head and feet to Halifax there. This is certainly their last chance, I would have thought, to get back into the game. They are 2 scores behind.
Yeah, well, they're not going to score twice, but there's a good chase going on here.
Big kick down there from Chester.
Just go down on it, Marv.
And Marvin does exactly that. Goes down the ball and carries on for about another 10 metres on the slippery surface.
Well, who's back there with him straight away?
Mark Glanville. Superb effort.
From the scrum.
Yeah.
From the scrum. Great effort. Yeah, those are little things that you see, and not everybody sees. Like, you know, he was the first player back there. You expect one of the backs to be back there with Marvin. But, you know, there's Mark Glanville breaking from the scrum.
I think that penalty by Glavin Clinch, and Terry Newton's pointing they should go for goal, is... I think that's going to be the final nail in the coffin. We're down to the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's been a gutsy performance, and Leeds will go to Central Park in as good a heart as you can go into Central Park. What does this do for Halifax, though? They've only got 5 days to turn round.
Well,
it's been a physical loss, and they're coming up against the Saints side that are running hot.
That's right, and it's, as you say, they're coming off a loss. and it's always easier for the other team, I think, even though they come from a less position.
You've got to pay full credit to a team that can turn around, say, from last week. And you said it's all about attitude. The one Clinch again has stolen the ball. The one try that Leeds have conceded has come from a mistake.
And now Bouvin goes along when he puts the kick in, and the kick goes straight in the touch. And that's the end of the game, and the Rhinos have won this qualifying playoff for the JJB Super League Grand Final. They won it 13 points to 6, and they've done it the hard way, but they've got a great result, Dean.
But I think that was a real gutsy performance. As we know, there are numerous players not available tonight, but again, as we've said all season, the young players have come in. The squad is a very strong one at the moment. The bench was used well, and it was a great all-round team performance. I mean, I know John will be very disappointed, John Pendlebury, but at the same time, Graham Murray and his boys, he's done a great job bringing them back after that huge loss last week. And as I say, it was a gutsy win, and it was just the sort of win that we needed.
Well, Tuolagi got the Halifax Blue Sox off to the ideal start of a try, and Clinch converted on the 32nd minute to make it 6-0. And that's the way it was at half-time. And in the second half, tries from Anthony Farrell converted by Harris, and St Hilaire also converted by Harris, made it 12 points to 6 before Daryl Powell put a lovely drop goal over to finish it off for the Rhinos, 13 points to 6. And as far as the Rhinos are concerned, it's bring on Wigan next Sunday night at Central Park. Stay tuned to Radio Rhino. We'll have all the ticket details ahead of that game and what you have to do to be there at Central Park for what is going to be one of the most important and crucial games of the season. This is Phil Daly signing off for the game. 13 points to 6, but stay tuned to Radio Rhino. We'll have all the interviews from the camp straight over.